Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
Top of the morning. I used to say in sunny California, but today, you guys, it's rainy California. We're having a lot of rain. We've been praying for it, and now we got it. My daddy used to always say, be careful what you ask God for. I'm just saying, you're listening to the Express Yourself Hour. I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you live as always with nothing but straight talk. That's how we do it up in here. My co-hosts are the wonderful Mr. Keith Swanson, the invisible man. People keep saying, why we don't ever see Keith? Is he really real? Does he exist? Yes, he does. And last year we had gotten up to $7,500 in the pot for the first person who catch Keith. He's out. You recognize his voice. Catch him and call me and say, I got him. I put my hand on Keith. You guys missed that money. I told you December 31st, the pot was going back down to zero. So we starting all over. So you have until March 25th for Black Rise on to catch up with Keith. And it's off the table. It's off the table. I gave you guys a chance. But anyway, it started all over. Keith, how you doing this rainy morning?
I'm doing pretty good. I was looking on YouTube and somebody was talking about Don Spears. Remember the book Good P?
Yeah.
Long time. Yeah. I said, remember when Dr. Rosie introduced him almost 30 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. So how things come back around.
I gotta let Don know they talking about him. They stirring it up.
They're stirring it up. Yeah.
They're gonna really stir it up with his new book called Let Us Pray. P-R-E-Y.
All
right now.
All right.
He getting ready to hit the road again. In fact, he'll be here for Black Writers on Tour.
Okay. All right.
Now, I don't know if Shawana is on. My other co-host is Shawana Bordenay. She's a real estate guru. She sells houses, buy houses. She does everything but clean houses. I'm just putting it out. Now, she cleans her house. I'm just saying she doesn't clean other folks' house. So if you're interested in real estate at all, she's the woman to call. Mm-hmm. So, Shawana, are you there?
No, I don't think she's on.
Okay. I thought I heard her voice. Well, anyway.
Shawana been working overtime, man. Let's go find out, man. She, kind of tell her to slow down a little bit. She can't make all the money.
I know. Yeah. All I leave on the table for her to get. Now, you know, I'm number one for getting the money. I'm getting mine first, okay? I'm just saying. You guys, we have a great show for you today. I'm really excited. Today, we are going to talk about the church's role in time like these. The church's role in time like these. And my guest today, I'm really excited about my guest. Her name is Reverend Jean Dale Glass. She has been a minister with the Church of Scientology since 1985. She has a passion for uniting members of the faith community to work together, combining their good intentions, love, and leadership to help members of their local neighborhood get relief and help they need. Her endeavor is to change the world on a daily basis. And she takes her leadership and she, under the L. Ron Hubbard Foundation of Scientology, who say, you all by yourself could actually change the world. And I like that. We're always waiting for a group. We think we need a committee. We think we need an organization. One person can change the world. Reverend Glass endeavors to change the world on a daily basis. She's currently operating as an executive member of the upcoming Community Day. Keith, is coming up Community Day that's held annually, spearheaded by Bishop Edward Turner. Community Day. It serves the underrepresented segment of our population in a variety of ways. In fact, that event is happening this weekend. So I thank God a rainbow in the sky, the rain is going away, because they will be giving away massive clothes given away. I mean, I'm not talking about rags, you guys. I'm talking about brand new clothes. And those that are not brand new are some that nobody bring rags at community. Okay. They bring stuff that they just got too big to wear. Okay, I'm just saying that. You know what I mean? Still good, but they can't fit. So they decided to bring it. Food, people leave the place with food and come back, make a U-turn, drop off and come back. It's so much food, and we have education, interfaith prayer breakfast. That is so awesome, because you have people of every faith denomination there. And guess what, Keith? They're going to have a game mobile there. Now, I don't talk to grown folks, because we got a lot of stuff for the children, something for everybody. And I'm telling these grown folks who sitting up playing games all day instead of going to work, don't be throwing nothing at me. Y'all know she'll be at work, y'all playing games while the kids at school and the wife at work. Don't throw nothing at me. I'm just talking about what I heard. I haven't seen that, okay? But I don't want you all to run up in that mobile trying to play games. Please.
You know they are. You might as well. Don't even fix your mouth. You know they are.
I don't want to come beat you out like Jesus beat him out the temple.
You have to get a cat 9 tails out, because they're going to be in there.
I know. We're going to make them get up out of there. But it's going to be so much fun. Entertainment on the stage, you guys. So, Jean is very, very involved. She has taken a leadership role in this community day for years. It started out with Bishop Turner giving bicycles to kids, and went to them giving away cars. I'm telling you, and was talking about at some point looking forward to being able to give away a house. We're going to try to make that happen this year. We want to give somebody a house. Y'all sitting there. She thinking big. Y'all know that's how I am. We're going to give a house away. Jean, we're going to give a house away next year, okay?
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to put that out there. Somebody going to give us a house to give to somebody. So we got a whole year to work on that, and I believe that it is possible. So my guest today, as I've already introduced, is Miss Jean Dale Reverend Jean Dale Glass. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm dry. It's staying in the house, keeping away from that rain, and so excited about what's coming up this weekend, that's for sure.
Jean, you have certainly been a pillar with this. I mean, you've been there the whole time, and I just see how hard you work. You come to all the meetings. And where do you live, Jean? Because it's quite a ways from here.
Well, I moved back in, but I'm all the way up near the 210. So, yeah, it's a nice little drive for me, but I'm very happy to help all throughout Los Angeles, because that's my city.
I know you always, and you do a great job with that. So I'm really excited. And folks, you would really enjoy the prayer breakfast. I've never seen so many different denominations come under one roof and do what they're doing. And that's what it's going to take. You know, people are so confused, Reverend Jean, because people don't know which way to turn. You got this person saying, well, this is the way to heaven. You got to believe this way. Somebody over here saying, oh, this is it. This is the faith over here. So people who are new coming into, they don't know, who do I follow, you know? So right. I think one thing that would help when they see that we're all coming together. That's what impressed people of the world. Something special about them. I don't care what name they're going on. I don't care what they're calling themselves. But when people can see something special, when they can see that there's a group of people who care, that's concerned, and it doesn't matter what your denomination, it doesn't matter what your color is. Because I don't understand people who say they love God and all of this, but yet they have selected people who they want to help or who they want to love. That's kind of confusing to people who haven't accepted any faith. And I can imagine how confusing it must be. So we're going to talk about the church's role in time like these. It's time to do church. It's time to
Yes,
do
please.
church versus having church. Keith, do you understand what I'm saying when I say doing church and having church?
Yeah, yeah.
What did that mean, Keith?
Basically, having church is basically entertainment. Okay, something to kind of relieve your stress or relieve whatever burdens that you think you have, right? Your emotional burdens, right? Uh, Doing church is the groundwork, the institutional work that churches have traditionally done, like taking care of the poor, uh, visiting people, taking care of people's needs, educating the children. You know, that's what tithes used to be. Tithes used to be the taxes, okay? Because the church was actually tasked with taking care of the common people. In case people fall on hard times, they went to the church. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if your husband left you, you went to the church. Okay, that's what the church was there for. That's what the tithes or the taxes of the people were there for so the church can actually do these kinds of duties. Okay, you don't see that anymore. Churches become corporate, and people start to see it where church is an entity amongst itself. So what we have is a lot of having church, which is entertainment, instead of doing church, which is the groundwork for the people, for the community. Okay, the church is the
Mhm.
community. So that's the difference. That's the difference that I see.
That's right. And see, the church in the past, they had storehouses because the
Hmm.
Bible
Yeah.
talks
Oh
about,
yeah. Oh
bringing
yeah.
the
The,
storehouse.
the Egyptian temples with excess grain was stored in Egyptian temples for famine. Like there's a famine like every 7 to 8 years, right? So you
Hmm.
would take your tithe from the farmers. You take a 10% of your grain or 15% of your grain and give it to the temple, and they would store it for the people. So when there was a drought and was no food, guess where the people had to go? They had to go to the temple to get bread and get wheat to eat because your priests were actually there, could be trusted, actually stored for you because they were the trusted agents actually store your goods, store your wealth, to store your so that in times of famine that the people could actually go. That's initially what the tithes are actually for. That's where it comes from.
That reminds me of the story of Joseph,
Hmm.
Reverend Gene, how he was able to, when there was a famine in the land, and his
Hmm.
brothers who had thrown him in the well,
Hmm.
where there was something for them. And
Yes.
back in the day, they, in the storehouse, it should be the
Yeah.
clothes, it should be food,
Yeah.
because there has not always been a welfare system, folks. Let me just
Nope.
say that. Am I right, G?
That's right.
There have not
That's right.
always been a welfare system. The people, the church, was a pillar of the community. Back in the South, most of the churches, if you talk to your grandmothers, they would tell you, baby, I went to school in a church house. Back in the days, the
Mhm.
church was the schoolhouse. It was
Mm.
everything. They told the community know somebody died. It's a funeral. This is going on. When you heard that church bell tone, the community knew that there's some information that need to get out, and they need to go there and gather and find out what it is. I'm waiting for the
Mhm.
day when the church can tone the bell again, Gene. Then we have
Yep.
better community when we can tone the bell and it means something to the people, you know.
Good.
So so that's what we are all about. Looking at the church road. And how do you see uh what the church need to do today, Gene? And the reason it's so important because it has nothing to do with your denomination. We all need to be doing these things that I'm talking about. Gene is Scientology. I'm Baptist. So when I look
Mhm.
at the church role from your standpoint, what should we be doing, Gene?
Well, I'll be honest. I was raised in the Presbyterian church, and my parents were there at least twice a week, doing activities in the community in the evening or on the weekends, helping the people in the community. It was somewhere I went when I was an age when I might have been getting into trouble. Instead, they offered activities that I could get involved in. And I think that this is important for, it's an advantage of different churches. For example, they have choirs for children, and you can go and you can perform. For 20 years, I ran a group called the Kids on Stage for a Better World, and I had over 1,000 kids in the
Wow.
group over the 20-year time. and they all, they stayed off of drugs and they stayed out of trouble, and they grew up knowing that it was their duty to help make a better world. And I think that's important. Our multi-faith prayer breakfast, for example, on Saturday morning, 9 a.m., everyone is invited. You can come. Just Dr. Rosie will be giving you the information on who to contact, or you could write her directly. But, for example, we are going to have representatives from the Jewish religion, Muslims, Sikhs, Buddhists, the Church of Latter-day Saints, of course, Christians, and Scientology, all types of groups throughout Los Angeles. All types of churches are going to be there. We're there to organize ourselves so that we have an effective, successful community day, but also to begin to work together and plan future activities. For example, we have coming up an African American Latino conference when we're done with Community Day. We'll be doing that probably in the spring. Anyone who wants to join us, please, the more the merrier, the more different. Anyone is welcome to join in to our multi-faith prayer breakfast. And we will be praying for our world, because our world does need help right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so critical that we work together down here and try to make it a better place, a better community. One thing about it, the faith community certainly cannot be gangbanging. It can't be the Bloods and the Crips, So it's coming together to help the community, because we all win. I think we learned from 911 that when one hurt, it hurts everybody. So this is why we want to see this. And when people, let me give the phone number out, and then I want to talk about something else. The phone number here is 310-928-7733. You can call and chime in, 310-928-7733. Or if you're at work and you don't want anybody to know what you're talking about, you can email us here at innerlightradio at yahoo.com. That's INNERLIGHT, Inner Light Radio. You may want to call in and tell us something that your church is doing. I mean, outside of the walls. Outside of the walls. In a book I wrote, Quotations and Sayings by Dr. Rosie, I have a statement in there, Jean, that says you might be able to get the people on your job to go to church with you if they can see the church in you. That's powerful, isn't it?
Oh, that's powerful.
You might can get them to go to church with you if they can see the church in you. And that's for a lot of people who goes to church, but their husband doesn't go, none of their children go. And I'm saying, I wonder, have they seen the church in you? If they have seen the church in you, would they be going to church with you? So for those who are listening, this is really something to think about. Do they see the church in you? I mean, it have to be outside of the wall. Some people are not going to do anything, Keith, but what they're on the usher board. They're going to sing in the choir. You know what I call that, Reverend Jean? That's church work. I call when people singing in the choir, they in the ministry, they on the usher board, or I'm a deacon. That's church work. But it's time to look for people, Keith, who want to do God's work. Now, what is that? They ducking from that. They arguing about who led the song, who gonna preach this Sunday. I just look at them and laugh. I didn't. So and so preached the last time. Well, who went to the prison? Who visited the sick? Who looking after the orphans and the widows? I don't see anybody fighting about God's work, but they're always fighting about church work. I'm just saying. So it's time for us to look at who's going to really do God's work within the church. Now, you hear people talk badly, the church not doing this, the church not doing that. Then my question becomes, what are you doing? Maybe they don't know what needs to be done outside of the community. What program did you bring to your pastor, to your bishop? What are you doing? all the blame tends to be on the bishop, the pastor, the elder. But what are you doing? You're a part of that congregation. Just like I said, the statement I made here, what did I say? By L. Ron Hubbard, he says, you all by yourself
Mm-hmm.
could actually change the world. So, folks, I want you to hold on to that thought. You all by yourself could actually change the world. That is a powerful statement. So we all are guilty if the church is not functioning. These four walls, the four walls that we gather ourselves into every Sunday throughout the week, if it's not functioning, not meeting the needs of the community, it's every one of our folks who are part of that organization, because you do count. You do count.
Yep.
So it's all about building strong communities. So, Gene, being my guest, give us some more insight as to, your thoughts on what we can do. And I know you know, because you've been there every year with Community Day, helping to make it happen. So let me stop doing all the talk, because I get on the soap and I just go on and on. So come on, Gene, you my guest.
Well, let me take a minute to explain a little bit about Community Day itself.
Okay.
So, yes, we're going to have the food and the clothing giveaway, which has already been mentioned. But we're also going to have an expo of the home buyers and banking for people who need help with their finances. We have experts who are going to be there to help people to sort out any troubles that they're having. We're going to have a job fair. So for people who are looking to hire, because it's not so easy to hire people right now, or for people who are looking for a job, they can come. Community Resources is going to be there, where we have community organizations, 501c3s, people who help other people in the community. The Health Forum is going to be there, providing screenings for the community and so forth. We offer literacy awareness, which is now not only about assisting people who need to read better, adults and children, but also literacy as far as STEM program goes, where you're talking science and technical, these sorts of things. We will also have as part of the literacy awareness. The last two areas are for the youth, and one is called Youth Empowerment, where we help the children to learn things that they need to know. For example, Drug-Free World will be there giving out free information. I think it's not an uncommon concept that we really don't need to be having people higher or more inebriated on a daily basis, although that seems to be the direction we're going in. So one of the things that my church does is we offer this free education about what are the drugs and what's going to happen to people when they take the drugs. So that's one of the things. And then there's Camp Can Do for the younger children, age 3 to 11. So bring the whole family. It'll be fantastic. And then, of course, entertainment will be going on all day, music.
Gene, the entertainment every year has really been outstanding out there on that stage. They have had great people performing. I remember one year they had the late Barbara Morrison. She was there. Yep. They always have great entertainment. It's really a lot of fun. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention also there would be business owners there. There will be vendors. There'll be people showcasing some of their products that you can be a part of. In fact, I will have a booth there for Black Writers on Tour, which is coming up March 25th. We're going to be there because I know literacy is everybody's business. And we're going to actually, some of the young people there, we're going to offer them an opportunity to write an essay about stopping the violence, see, their impact. I'm doing that along with Gloria from Pace newspaper. We're going to give away, it's going to be some cash, going to give away money for those who enter that contest to, we got to start with the young people because folks, it's not the 65 and 75 out there shooting up people and bullying and doing stuff. So we got to start with our young people so they can see the impact, because I'm sure some of them will have seen someone who have been killed in their family, and they can see the grief and what it means. I think sometimes, Gene, do they have any kind of documentary where I remember when they had this movie Keith Scared Straight, where they showed it and it deterred a lot of young people about going to jail. Maybe they need to do something showing the actual grief of families, not just the mother and the father. This stuff impact your sisters and brothers. Look how it impacts them. Sometimes they are afraid to go to school. I think that story need to be told, the impact on the whole family when someone is murdered. What you guys think? Don't you think that would be a good documentary?
Yeah. Not only the person that's murdered, but also the person that goes to prison for it, because they come out and their life is pretty much ruined, for the rest of their life, because they never get complete employment.
That's right.
And they're poor. They're homeless and stuff like this. So it impacts, more than just one family. It impacts both sides of the family, not just the person that got killed, but also the person that's committed the crime.
Absolutely. Because when a person is in jail and prison, it's not just them. Their whole family's impacted. Their parents have to try to go see them, have to try to put money on the books, and they barely had enough to feed them when they were home. And the most critical thing, that's why the education, Reverend Jean, from the church is going to be so important, because some people don't understand what life is going to be like after prison. Right. Because if you happen to be like on Section 8 in federal housing program, your son can't come back to live with you, and he was living with you before he went in. Folks, are you out listening?
Right.
So what is he or she supposed to do? You can't come back to mama's house because mama is in public assistance housing. Folks, that's what we need to be talking about in the church. Because sometimes if people knew the consequence, sometimes there are a lot of people, Reverend Jean, who wouldn't do certain things if they knew the consequence before they did it. Would you agree?
Right. Absolutely. And so that's the thing is I think that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to know, there's so many things. I remember, Gene, once I went to a high school class, to talk to them. And I was saying to them, at that time, I was saying, if you make $10 an hour, I had it all figured out, showing them how much tax would come out of it. Now, this was 12th grade students. And they go, tax? This all I'm going to bring home? See, people don't have enough information these days to make the best decision. And I put what they would earn a week with that $10, an hour. I said, if we would show kids this, Gene, when they get uppity and ready to move out, or I don't have to do what you say, I can get my own apartment. When you show them how much money they make and what they're going to bring home, they would put on brakes and say, well, what you want me to do, Mama? You want me to wash the dishes? How many days a week? Right. It's only because we don't have that information. But when I put on that board how much it costs for diapers, how much it costs for baby formula, what it costs per week for childcare, that class was blown away. It's like they had never, ever heard that type of conversation, Reverend Jean.
No.
And they don't hear it.
Wow.
They have no clue what it costs. $150 a week for child care, and you only make it $400 less tax. There's a lot. There's a lot we need to talk about. You guys, you're listening. I know you're out there. We see that you're listening. Go ahead. Chime in. You may be doing something great at your church. Your ministry may be doing something great. We'd like to hear about that, too. Call us at 310-928-7733. That's 310-928-7733. Let me check the chat. Keith, I forgot to do that. I think we have a caller on hold.
We got Shawana in the house.
Oh, great.
And we got a caller on hold.
Okay, caller, go ahead. Give us your name and tell us what you want to tell us today.
Well, it's probably me, but I just want to listen in.
Who is this?
8745, Veronica.
Oh, hi, Veronica. Good to hear from you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm just listening in. Okay.
Okay, great. Shawana, you on board?
I am here. I'm here with you guys.
Oh,
Happy New Year to you guys.
Thank you, Shawana.
Are those coins are here rolling around in the background, Shawana?
Oh, no. No coins. No coins.
Shoot. Shawana out there making so much money. I want her. I think I'm going to open a church just to get her tithes.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're talking about right now. It's helping people be able to make that, whatever it is that they see themselves having. And that's what it's all about, is really believing in ourselves that we can do it, because we all can do it, not just one person.
Yes, and I think we have such a great role. That's why I like what's happening with the community today. Home buyers, telling people, helping them buy a house, deal with credit. The church really needs to be involved in that, because, if I was a pastor, I make sure everybody can read. They technology savvy. I would make sure their credit is good. I would help them to get in a profession so they have a good job. Because who benefits? The church.
Yeah.
That church.
That's right.
Because if you're a tithe paying member, Gene, and if you can elevate your members, your people to do well, whether it's in the church or when your community do well, then we prosper. My business do better if I'm surrounded by people in my community that's doing better financially. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
So, folks, we all have a responsibility to make this world a better place, and it becomes better for all of us. And I'm just excited when I see churches take up this role to realize I am my brother's keeper. That's what Community Day is about, right, Jean?
That's right. That's right. We're there to help the people of Los Angeles, the underserved, and make sure that they are taken care of.
Wow. And you guys, it is so great. Shawana, bring some of those fine clothes and hats. You you've outgrown them. You can't wear them.
Oh, I do have
they
some
too tight. They too tight. They
too tight, yeah.
You can't wear them in church like that. You can't go up in the church with that tight dress on, girl. So.
Or, sometimes they don't even zip up, right?
Hey, Dr. Rosie, leave that tight dress alone now.
So you want to bring it on out.
Leave that tight dress alone.
Bring the tight in.
Bring that tight dress on.
Dr. Rosie, as you're sitting up here talking, I just think about all the things that you have done for the community. I mean, continuously. You do it Tuesday at 10 a.m. I mean, you're doing webinars all the time, teaching people the different programs, and that's really what it's all about. You're having this fantastic book seminar that you're going to be having in March. I think that's going to be absolutely fabulous, as you always do. And I think that everybody should really learn from you, because we're all have some type of leadership qualities that we need to start sharing with the world and stop holding back because we're scared. Just do it, because you just do it, and you're showing people how to do that. So I appreciate you. I just want to put that out there. I really appreciate everything that you do continuously to help our community grow and think beyond where we are. So I appreciate that.
Wow, what's your Zelle number, girl, so I can send you a little something? It's
all
true, right? It's all true. Well, it keeps me busy. Some people ask me, about do I get tired? I said, tired of what? I can't spell it, because I came from where people worked, Gene, till they got tired, okay? I came from Mississippi, where people farmed, where they chopped cotton, they picked peas. They did all types of work. They worked from sun up to sundown, and I'm gonna have the nerve to say I'm tired. I would feel that God would hit me across my head talking about tired with the blessing that have fallen on all of us. So I'm real serious. We need to really think about that. We don't know what tired is. Now, I can show you tired, okay? But Shawana, thank you so much. I think we have another call on hold 310-625. Go ahead, give us your name and where you're calling from.
Can you just speak and you hear?
Yes,
Yeah.
So you're actually hearing me right now.
I hear you right
Yes.
now.
Right now. Yes. What's your
Okay.
name and where you calling
Aloha.
from?
Okay. Aloha.
Aloha.
Good
Okay.
morning.
Hawaii.
Aloha.
I am Dorothy Ross, and I'm just stalking Dr. Rosie. I
You
called the
stalking
office
me?
this morning, and they told me I couldn't talk to her because she was in podcast. So first thing I did was give me the information, Tim. And so I just been listening because I'm listening on the computer. And then when I heard people talking, I said, wonder how do they do that? So I'm trying to be tech savvy since that's one of the things. So I switched to my cell phone, and I was just wondering because, you have to do a *6 and all that stuff. So I didn't know what I had to do. But when I heard my phone number, I said, maybe I can just speak. So I'm just nosy and stalking Dr. Rosie.
Okay.
And I am a church goer.
We're going to get together this week.
Goer.
You a church goer? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you all do church outside of the walls of the church?
Look, girl.
I know
I
you
don't
do.
know
Come
if
on,
you-
talk about it. I know your work.
I am just so involved in my community, my church, and everything. I'm still not in person, though, and I'm not afraid because I've been vaccinated 5 times. But
Okay.
I love sitting on Sunday and going 5 places. I start out in London at 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, I'm in Mississippi. 10 o'clock, I'm back home here at my church. 11 o'clock, I'm in Alexandria, Virginia. So I get to listen to so many people, and my husband's a preacher.
Okay.
I do have to get back in church. I am still doing a lot of things, in reference to what needs to be done in my community. I belong to several organizations that do nothing but give back. I'm a Kiwanian. I'm a Lion. And I work with the Rotary Club, too. So
very
I was
good.
wow. Curious. You guys, this is my first. Is this called a podcast?
It's actually an internet talk show. People hear us all over the world. We get calls from Canada, all over. So people listen to you.
Yeah, I was looking at the logo because I started out on the computer. I didn't even realize I could call in until you said something. And I had the number. Tim gave me the number. I love the logo. I don't know who did that. I'm just here listening and learning. So you might see me every Tuesday that I'm not somewhere.
Well, thank you. I know you do a lot of work, and I'm really glad that you are on because there's so much work to do, you guys. There's a lot of talking, but we need some people out here walking who care about people and helping other people. It doesn't matter where they come from. Then it'll be a better world. But I'm telling you, this community today, I've always been so impressed. And let me tell you how this thing started out with Bishop Turner, because he's right next door to Miss Ross. You know, he right across the street from me. And he said he saw the people homeless people, and he started buying them breakfast food over at McDonald's, which was next door. I think, as he said, started out with about 10 people, and he said, well, if you guys come back next week, we'll feed you again. That next week, about 70 people showed up. And when they gave him the bill from McDonald's, it was like $70. And they go, oh, my goodness. So there were people who have donated. And then McDonald's got one, well, we don't want these people coming over here. And Burger King, which is across the street, said, we'll take them. So they start feeding from there. And out of that, looking at the need of the people, birth. What we call now the community day. And I was there when they gave bicycles away. Those kids, I mean, that was like giving a car away back then. Some of those kids had never had a bicycle in their life. And from there, it has been on and on. So we all need to do our part. So you guys make sure you're there. If you can't come, tell the community, tell people that you know people who need clothes, people who need food, who need empowerment, gains for kids. What else we're doing, Jean?
That's right. I want to give the address, which is 1426 West Manchester Avenue. So that's where you want to go on Saturday morning, 1426 West Manchester. If you want to be part of the multi-faith prayer breakfast, we welcome you as well. You need details, you can call 323-496-8633. 323-496-8633. And come for food, come for clothing, come to learn things, come to meet people. You can come to help. We're going to have a number of the programs available from the Church of Scientology, which is also, we do have our drug-free world program that I already talked about, but we offer Narcanon, which helps people to get off of drugs. We actually have Criminon, which goes into the prison and helps people to improve their understanding of how they got there and to come out rehabilitated, which we want to do for people. We have United for Human Rights, which is making sure that human rights is a global reality. Our volunteer ministers program will be there. It just goes on. And we want to invite all the churches, every religion, to come and get involved with this, because we do this annually. We're going to be doing more other things like the Latino Conference, the African American Latino Conference in the spring. So please just come on by, join in with us.
That's absolutely incredible. And I'm telling you, you haven't seen anything like this multi-faith breakfast. Now, the only thing that there is a fee for, because, we have to get the food and everything, it's $25 for the breakfast, but everything else is free. So let me say this. I want everybody out there, lay your religion down and come on up in here and forget about your faith for a second and focus on unity versus your faith. Focus on helping the community. Like I said, Shawana, you know why I work so hard? I really just love the people. It's my assignment. But when the community thrives, that's when I thrive. Did you guys hear me? People don't understand how you have a personal connection to how well that you help others thrive in your community. When the community become better, then it'll be better community. So we all have to get on board and start helping people come out of the rain, come from under the tent. How do you get them from under the tent, G? Create a mindset. You guys, it's a mindset that we have to change to get people to not want to be under the tent. There are some people don't want to come from under the tent unless it's raining. They want to be outside. They have been conditioned, and the church can do a lot about this. And that's what we're trying to wake the church up, to become the pillar of the community. As I said earlier, if you talk to Grandma, she went to school in the church house. Wasn't no school she could go to. The church opened the doors for all the needs of the community. They toned the bell when somebody died. They toned the bell when there was a need. So we want the church to get back to toning that bell. Toning that bell. That's what it's all about. The church's role in time like these. And the church, I guess I didn't tell y'all, it's not the walls. It's not the four walls. The church is you.
Yes.
You are the church.
Right.
You are the walls can't do nothing. And the walls not going to go feed the offering. It's not going to go see about the widows. The walls can't go to the prison. The walls not going to get up and go to the hospital, Now, we do a good job when it comes to visiting the sick. We don't go. We get on our knees and we pray and we tell God, Lord, go on over to the hospital. We send him. You know how we do. We delegate. We good at being supervised. And Lord, when you leave the hospital, go to the jailhouse. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Y'all ever heard any prayers like that? Somebody chime in if you have. Tell the Jesus.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've heard it, but they used to do that every Sunday.
That's
About
right.
visiting the jailhouse and visiting the sick and the shut in. There used to be a daily, a weekly sermon almost, a weekly prayer. It doesn't. I don't think it happens anymore.
We don't do it now. We tell Jesus to do it, and we text him. We text him now. We don't call nobody.
And he responds.
Yeah, we got FaceTime. Go. He didn't tell you to FaceTime nobody. Go and look them in the eyes. Go see the sick. Go to the prison. But we done let this technology. I'm just saying. You guys know how I am. I just think we need to do better. We all can improve in the service that we give, and that's what we want to do. So that's why I've always been fascinated and been a part of helping with community today. 'Cause I just love to see the smile on those people's face when they come. Go, ooh, look at this suit. This is they have name brand, and it's just awesome. It's awesome the clothes that they have. So bring it out there. Your good clothes, stuff that you just too big to fit. That's all I'm saying. Well, I'm gonna be able to get in it one day. Yeah, when? Come on.
That's right. And if people want to help contribute, they can call 323-496-8633 to find out what they can do to help. We need help with setup and breakdown, and you can bring your own activities and get a booth, anything that you want to do. It's open to the community to help or to be helped. If there's people listening who need some help, don't worry about it. Just show up and let us help you.
Wow, I like that, Jean. There's work to do. We do have stage setup, breakdown, but need somebody to help even with the food distribution and the clothing distribution. Because, people don't like to wait. You know how impatient, even if they need. Mm-hmm. So the more help we have, we can give out the stuff. They don't have to wait in line as long to get the clothes and get what they need. And this is a non-profit organization, you all. So this is not a for-profit organization. So come somebody might say, well, I can't come, but I just want to donate. All that is good. Whatever you want to do, just be a part. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, just me alone having a booth out there is enough for you to want to come. Yeah, hey, y'all need to want to see me, and y'all want to see me Saturday. Because I'm gonna be dressed in my full gear. I'm gonna be dressed like y'all never seen me before. Shawana, you might not know me, girl, but I'm just saying. It's going to be fun, you guys. Like I said, the entertainment is always phenomenal. So I'm really excited about it. So I want you all. Keith, maybe you'll show up. They might get that money. You got.
I know. That's what I was going to say. But didn't it start over again this year?
It started over.
Didn't it start over again? It started over, didn't it?
Started over. Yes, it did. It had gotten up to 7,500, girl, and nobody got that money.
Yeah. And it started, what are you starting it off at?
Well, we started off with zero, so we up now to 250.
250. Okay, so by March, huh? No.
Yeah, by March, it's just gonna go up and up. Speaking of that, I better see what's happening today with the lottery.
I know, right?
I did play $5. Guys. I did.
Did you?
I gave somebody some money, and I told them that if I win, I must be really trusting to give somebody my money to play and let them get the ticket and tell me whether I won or not.
Oh yeah. I'm
gonna call and tell them to give me that ticket.
Of course, or
that's right.
Or send you a picture at least.
I know.
And you'll have a text message to say, no, see, this was mine, Your Honor.
Exactly. Well, folks, I tell you, you got to play to win. And in life, you got to play life game to win. Not just talking about the balls in the game. You got to play. You got to be in it to win it. And, folks, there's such a need. It's such a need in the community. There's a need in your home. There's a need among your family. Let's try to reach out to meet the needs of people, because when you do, I'm a living witness. When you give, it just come back. Some people think, that just talk. That's not talk. Try it. When you give, it keeps coming back to you. But when you hold on to everything, if you don't open that door to let out, what happens? Can't nothing go in, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. And I bet there's some people out there that have had ideas of what they can do to help, but they don't know how to get started. And what you need to do is just put one foot in front of the other and just get going, because the world needs you.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. Because when we talk about, I hear people, Gene, always talking about they serving God. I said, how do you serve him? Well, I go to church, I'm in the choir. I said, that ain't serving God.
Mm-mm.
You worshiping. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What about the work? He can't come down here and physically walk and do stuff, but he uses our hands. He uses our feet. So
That's right.
the job is more than going to church. It's about what you do in the community. Like I said, a lot of people need help. And for those who don't be ashamed, come out there and get what you need. In my book, Motivational Quotations and How Comes, Milliganism, I call them. So when I have a statement in there, it says, holler when you need help, because folks can't see you at the bottom of the pool. You guys write that down.
That's
Holler.
right. I like that.
Say
Holler,
it again. Say it again.
holler when you need help, because folks can't see you at the bottom of the pool.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
That's profound.
Holler when you need help.
Folks can't see you at the
Because
bottom of the
folks
pool.
can see you at
So-
the bottom of the pool.
That's right. So come on down and get help, and don't have no shame in
Yeah.
your game.
Yeah, like an old pastor of mine way back when I was a kid said, "Ask not, get not."
That's right.
That's right.
Wow. Well, see, a lot of people, say, open the door, ask, and it shall be given.
Right.
Okay. But so
And I
ask,
think we've all been in a position where we needed help.
absolutely. I remember the years when I was glad to go up in a secondhand store and get me something for myself and for my kid. And I mean, I remember, you know how kids in school, how they come home and you say, wear your coat. I don't know. Yeah, some of y'all know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
I got to thinking, I said, they'll never get a new one. I'm going to Salvation Army, and if you leave it, then I don't feel like I have to whip you, okay? I can go get another one. Didn't pay but $1 or $2 for it.
Mm-mm.
Yes, my kids wore second-hand clothes, third hand, fourth hand. I don't know how many hands it had gone through, okay? I remember going to the second-hand store, getting furniture. When people see you, they think you always been in a certain position. But no,
Mhm.
you just keep climbing that ladder and you'll get to the top. So I know what need is. My dad used to call it old need more. I didn't know what he was talking about. He, girl, that's old need more over there.
I like that.
Yeah, so you guys, I'm excited. Let's be community minded. Let's be community minded. And I've been telling people, Gene, this year, telling everybody, all your work, start at home first. I tell everybody, go home, be a home. 'Cause out of the home, the community of people who come out of the homes, when we can get the homes together, when we can get people loving each other at home, knowing what love is, not being selfish, giving, we practice at home. These are the people who come out to the community and begin to help others. And trust me, you guys, what your children see you do, they will do. Because I notice my children, they are givers. They're always helping people. And sometimes I'm saying, well, why are you doing this? And I said, shut up, Rosie. They saw you do it.
That's right.
Yeah. So be a good example of serving the
That's
community. Be a good example. So, Jean, you want to give them give them the overview again of Community Day. I can't wait.
Yeah, I was just going to do that. Exactly. Well, we're going to start on Saturday morning, this Saturday, with the multi-faith prayer breakfast. We want to invite people of all faiths, no faiths, anyone who wants to be part of a group that's bringing together healing in the community through clergy and community leaders. Please join us, 9 o'clock. There is a cost for the breakfast, $25. But if you want to come, you're welcome to join us. The address is 1426 West Manchester. That's basically in between the 110 and Western.
Oh, it's right,
So you just come.
it's right off of Normandy, just west of Normandy.
Yeah, exactly, just west of Normandy on Manchester. You can't miss it because it's just going to be a big old ruckus going on there. But then a little later on, then we're going to have Community Day where we're giving away clothing, food, how to get a job, how to get your finances straight, activities for the children, business expo, all sorts of things going on. Home buying, literacy awareness, health forum, all those different ideas and things. We welcome the veterans. We beg you to come. We want to help you. We really thank you for your service. We want to help you find a job, find a better job, get the health care that you need. Anything we can help you with, teach you how to get your finances straight. These are all the activities that we have going on. If you have any questions at all about how to get involved or what to do, call office at 323-496-8633.
And we have someone out there that's going to be talking about STEM. STEM education,
Yep.
That's so important because technology cannot afford to lag behind in technology. You want to be there. Now, someone put on the board that says, have you been to a swap meet lately? They are selling more new stuff than used hand-me-down. I haven't been to a swap meet, Doc, in a long time. But if they're selling the new stuff, I'm sure it's so much cheaper than it would be if you were in the store. We have entrepreneurs now they're making their way, finding their way. So it's going to be really interesting because I've said, Keith, to some churches many times who have been struggling financially, and I'm saying, you got extra room? Why don't you have a beauty supply house? Why aren't you selling books? Why aren't you selling products? Every woman in here that wear makeup or beauty products, why, give somebody a job. Let them open it up if it's just on Sundays. We got to become creative because, folks, you guys see what's happening to the jobs out there. These are your members. These are your members who are going to be struggling. So we need to help them learn how to create something. What do you think, Keith?
Get some young guys that are into tech, man, having code camps, for the young people and charging a fee. You could do that. You could open up because you got classrooms that you teach Sunday school in. You can, get a few laptops in or have them bring their own laptops in and do code camps. There's a lot of stuff you can actually do, and you can advertise for free on basically for free on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can actually advertise for free, so you can cut down a lot of your costs. Like that, all the gatekeepers are basically asleep right now because they don't know what to do with this social media. They haven't figured it out yet. When they do, they'll probably crack down. For right now, one person or a few people can actually start a wave, like the last reparations movement with the ADOS, right? That was started by two people. By two people, okay? Just two people, and it basically started a whole movement for 2 years that scared the hell out of the Democratic Party. So with the gatekeepers down and your access to people hearing your voice, which it used to cost a lot of money to actually hear your voice spread out to a lot of people through radio, newspapers, even leaflets, right? Now you can do it for pennies. So like Barbara says, you can actually one person can actually change the world with the right message. Yeah.
And we need to keep that thought. One person, you write this down. Yeah. You all by yourself can change the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Don't be looking around with somebody else. Well, I could do something, but they won't help me. No, take the day out. Take the day out. Okay?
Yeah.
You help yourself.
The Arab Spring was started by it was unfortunate, but the Arab Spring was actually started by one poor fruit salesman that had enough, and unfortunately burned himself in front of the Congress of Tunisia. But thing is to set off a whole wave for the next 5 years, called the Arab Spring. So one person can change the world.
Absolutely. I think we have another caller right quick. Caller, go ahead.
Hi, this is Alicia. I apologize. I'm coming on so late. I just got in the office.
Well, we're glad you're on. You have a comment, Alicia?
I don't even know. I was giving your number to Scotty. She told me to give you a call during the podcast, and I just got here.
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, well, if you
We've
didn't hear
been covering it quite well.
yeah, covering Community Day, so at least we want you to make sure you're there. I know if you talk to Scotty, she told you what's going down on Saturday. I mean, it's going down over here, you guys, in South Central, 1426 West Manchester, just west of Norman. Your landmarks are McDonald,
And Burger
Louisiana
King.
Chicken. We're surrounded by all the food places that can. I'm not going to say that. Okay,
Right
but
across the street from Burger
right
King, and
across the street. Yeah,
right next to the
right next.
McDonald's.
So
Can't
you
miss it.
want
Yes.
to come. You want to come. Oh God, it's so much fun. So Carla, I know you're late calling in, but you want to be there and tell other people to be there. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, Keith, we have something on the board of final comment. What did
Okay.
it say?
Okay, this is from Barbara Gates, and this is probably something Shawana probably could answer. It said the churches are moving into becoming big business with real estate. What are your thoughts?
I believe the
Go ahead, Shawana.
I believe the church has always been in big real estate from the Catholic Church. When you look at the Roman Catholic Church, they have properties all over the world, and people are continuously donating, the properties to them. And we just want to make sure that the churches are doing the right thing. There's so many people out here that are homeless and they need places to stay, that because they have so much property, we should, try to ask them, what are they doing with it? Because they are property.
Yeah, you're right with the Catholic Church, and I can also say the Scientologies. I mean, they have some fabulous places. And one thing about it, I noticed the one they have center here in Inglewood and one in L.A., that they allow community people to hold meetings. I mean, yes, and it's not like they're charging your arm and a leg. In fact, basically, I think most time it's free. So there are people who are doing something. I mean, they have fabulous facilities. So you guys need to go by there. The one on 81st, I believe, 81st in Vermont, and there's one in Inglewood. I even went to a play.
Right on Market.
Yeah, on Market. I mean, you're talking about absolutely fabulous. But what Barbara is talking about the fact that finally some of the black churches in the community are allowing them to build like 50 unit, houses on their lot, because they got this great big lot, and some of them are basically empty because they only have 50 people there now. So they are building there, and people they'll be able, some for senior citizens, some just for low income. So that's what Barbara talking about. That's a new movement for the black churches to be involved with having residents. And they should always have done that. You got these older people who are giving their Social Security check, their tithes, have given you money that should have been going for the college education for their kids and grandkids, but they put it in the church. And now they're older and cannot pay the market rent. Yes. The communities need to come out and say, look, you got this parking lot, you got 5 members, and you got a parking lot that'll house 120. Now, what you gonna do with the land? I guess I'm getting ready to get put out of church again. Barbara, why you starting mess? Barbara Gates always stirring up the mess. I shouldn't. Well, I really mean that. It's time, so I'm glad to see what I'm seeing. I just hope they do the right thing. Anyway, you guys, our time is running out. We've had a great show. Reverend Jean, I thank you so much. And I think if the technician would have this ready, maybe tonight when we have the community meeting, you think we need to play a little bit of it, Jean?
I think that would be a great idea.
I think so too. So I'm going to say to the technician, if you can get this over to me, we'd like to play a little bit of it tonight at the community day meeting. We have a luncheon tonight, and while they're eating, they can get a chance to hear this. So, Reverend Jean, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of your work. Shawana, you know I love you, girl. I just want you to just give me some of the tithes from the real estate. You know, just come on, chip me off, cut me off a little something. And Keith, you know I love you, and I'm so glad that you ain't letting nobody warn that money, okay? So you guys have a great day as you go on your way. Stay dry and be safe. And remember, the church is you, not the walls. The church is alive and well because you are alive and well. You guys have a great day. I love you.
Dr. Rosie, thank you for being who you are.